Beat his ass. What's good, my pack? Your alpha is here. Marvin Kid back again, and could use a little bit more light. Let there be light. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay, that better? I think. Yeah, that should be doing it. Anywho, what's good, everybody? How's everybody doing on their end? Welcome back to another open mic Q&A. Back again, as always, and today I'm here to answer your questions and deliver and be silly and be nuts and be everything that your alpha is known for. Once again, I want to give a shout out to everybody once again for continuing to enjoy my Godzilla 2014 versus Shin Godzilla reaction. It's been getting a lot of headway, a lot of views, a lot of thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for watching my latest reaction where we reacted to 3 urban explorations gone wrong video. Continue to like that one because I really went in on those ones with them idiot people going out in the middle of nowhere, no weapon, no gun, no nothing, and getting chased by idiot people on drugs. Okay, these people were on drugs. The last you go watch that video. There's the last video. This dude was chasing this guy around this abandoned place, and the dude looked like he was crazy, and he kept cutting this guy off, and then this fool want to go back and try to find him. Like, just go watch for yourself. This is just funny. I love rewatching my own vids just to see what kind of mistakes I made, or just to see the reactions, and it's just up every time I watch it. But yeah, man. So yeah, we're here. This is the final open mic Q&A for the month of October. We're gearing up for Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, don't eat too much candy and don't do anything stupid. Don't dress up like stupid clowns and go chasing people. Because I said it before and I said, if you ever come run up on me like that, you're getting kicked in the nuts. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Matter of fact, anyway, guys, let me kind of flip this camera real quick. We're gonna flip the camera a little bit. Booyah! There you go. Camera's locked and loaded. I just flip it around just so you just flip it. There you go. Flip. Boom. There you go. Yeah, man. So we are here, and let's see who is in the comment section. We got Roulette Gamer, and everything his message has been retracted. I know why. There was he was trying to figure out because there's a time difference for him, but I had posted that this will start at 9:45, and but it was 6:45, so that's a 2-hour difference. So I'm thinking 2-hour difference. So, but no matter what, I'm here. Cool. I hope you're cool. Yeah, let's go. Let's switch this around a little bit. Just want to get a little. There you go. How's that? Anyway, let's see. So we have everybody's just saying what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up. I'm gonna be Godzilla for Halloween. Okay, cool. Well, you definitely should cosplay as Spider-Man again. I will definitely. That's speaking of which, I got a message from a friend, an old friend of mine, and this friend that I've known since 10th grade said he would love to come on and do a Q&A with me. So I am letting you know right now, next month, there will be a special friend on Q&A with. Maybe with me or maybe not with me. I don't know. But he's dying to do it, and he wants to answer your questions and things like that. So let's see. Okay. Well, my pack, what do you have for your alpha? What questions do you have for your alpha? If you're new and you have not joined the pack, I do ask you to join the pack. Hit that subscribe button and also that little bell and be notified every time I upload new videos. As always, once again, I have merch. Link in the description down below to purchase one of my merch. About to upload some new merch as well. So other than that, nobody's asking any questions. And everybody, that is my bro right there. What's he doing? Oh. Only 4 people watching. That's okay. You should cosplay as Deadpool. Why? I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. I would only cosplay as something I'm a huge fan of. I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. Never have and never will be. I like the movies, and I thought Ryan Reynolds did a great job. And yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see when he transitions into the MCU. But never been a big fan of Deadpool. Never have. Just never really interests me as much. It's just me. Who's that behind you? That was my brother, like I said. Yeah. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is kind of close some doors. There you go. Okay. I'm hearing a rumor that there's gonna be a new Batman game from WB Montreal. Yeah, I've heard that rumor too. That they're working on the new next Batman Arkham game. It's going to be focused more on the rest of the Bat family or something like that. If they do that, I'm all for it. If it's more of a game that's involving Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, or any other Bat family outside of Batman, I'm cool with that. That'd be great. See them carry on without him. That'd be great. Or Dick, or they can go the route of Dick Grayson taking up being Batman. I don't know, because my issues with the Arkham games is that when they do like other characters, it was like a DLC. Like the last all those DLCs focused on other Bat family characters, but it was just like, I want more of that. Now it was just like, after you beat it, it was like, I wanted more. Like when they did the Nightwing, I wanted more Nightwing. When they did the Robin, I wanted more Robin. When they did even Red Hood, I was like, I want more of that. Batgirl, I wanted more. You can keep Catwoman out there. I don't really care too much about her, but yeah. Maybe you should cosplay as symbiote Spider-Man. Okay, when it comes to Spider-Man, there's not one costume I can't say that I want to own. There are some that are just made up. Like I got a place that will make a Captain America style Spider-Man costume. I was like, that looks dope. There's one costume that I want for Spider-Man. It's called the Spider Bat. It's an amalgamation of Spider-Man and Batman. There's a picture of and it's Batman, Spider-Man, and Batman combined. It's great. There's a lot of characters that I want to cosplay as. I've already kind of set up already my uh, convention adventure for 2020 next year. I've already started planning, which conventions I'm big or small, which ones I'm gonna go to, um, and that's fun to do. Uh, but also look at my bucket list of conventions that I want to get to. Still, of course, I can't check off San Diego because I'm, San Diego's still there. E3 is still there. I definitely want to go to E3. Dragon Con. Dragon Con ended this year, and I saw some great cosplays from Dragon Con. This one guy who looked like Apocalypse. He had the full. It was so big. I was like, yo, that's dope. Um, what else? What else convention I want to get to? San Diego. Um, San Diego. Emerald City Con, which is in Seattle. That's on the bucket list. But I want to start with East Coast because I'm on the East Coast. I start east and then work my way out to the west. Um, you know, but yeah, right now, um, I'm definitely going to go to AwesomeCon down in Washington D.C., but that's in May. I'm gonna go down there for one day. Just take a bus down there, and that's about it. I got a friend that does that. She lives in, she lives in PA. She'll come up for New York Comic Con for a day or two, and come back down and go back home. But yeah, I definitely want to go there. There's one that's going to be in Virginia Beach, and that's going to be fun. That's for 2 days. I think it's called the Tidewater Convention. Those are definitely on the list for 2020 to get to. I'm not sure I'll be cosplaying. I'll probably cosplay for one of them. The other one I may not. But as for cosplayers, Spider-Man is always going to be there. Definitely want to cosplay as the Flash. Flash is definitely one of my favorite DC heroes. Mr. Terrific, I definitely want to cosplay as Black Lightning. Black Panther definitely is on the list. I made a list of characters I want to cosplay as. And Black Panther's up there. Blade again, I've cosplayed as Blade. Um, uh, I would do Val Zod, the Black Superman, definitely. I would definitely want to do Static. Uh, Definitely need to get a dreadlock wig for that one. Definitely. Static. There's I said Black Lightning, Mr. Terrific. Um, Nightwing. Nightwing is my favorite Batman character before Batman. Yes, I said that. Believe it or not, but yes, I love Dick Grayson more than I like Batman. Go figure. Uh, but yeah, cosplaying is fun. I've done it twice at a convention. I've cosplayed. The first time I did it was back in 2017, and I cosplayed as Agent 47 from Hitman. That was fun. I just broke out one of my black suits, red tie, white shirt, gloves. I was in serious mode through that whole convention until I met Gail Simone. Then it kind of just the kid in me came out. And then this past New York Comic Con, I cosplayed as Spider-Man, which was a lot of fun. Just the sheer amount of attention I got, especially from the kids. Your boy loves the kids, and not in that way. So don't think that way. And just seeing them run up to me and hug me and just Spider-Man, and I'm taking pictures with them. That was my day. That made my day. Taking pictures with other cosplayers, pulling off the poses. It was great. Had a lot of fun, and I'm damn sure gonna do it again. If you haven't seen my New York Comic Con 2019 adventure, go check it out. You can see me interview other cosplayers. That's always great. And I also did a video where you get to see me taking pictures in costume with other cosplayers. It was fun. Then I kind of talked some more. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. A new MonsterVerse cabinet uh, out is found on Twitter. Oh, okay, interesting. Do you like to fish? This is from Warhawk Rambo. I used to go fishing a lot with my grandfather. Back in the day, my grandfather definitely used to take us fishing, and we used to go fishing a lot. We used to go to an area here in New York. There's a place here called Glen Island. It was either Glen Island or even closer, there was a place called Wilson Woods, and there's a pond there, and they have these big like goldfish. They're not goldfish, but they're big, but they're like that orangey color. And we used to go fishing there, and that was fun. My brother, the guy you just saw, when we took him one time, he picked up a worm and he was going to eat it. We used to have cookouts there as well. It was when he was just a baby though, but it was fun. But yeah, I used to go fishing a lot. We never like, and then ate it. We catch it, put it back. Take it off, put it back. One of my favorite shows. I don't really watch like them bass fishing shows. I do like the bass fishing game. That came out for like Dreamcast. Lower the rod, this big one, and you got to reel in it. That shit is funny. That is my joint. But I love the show. With the biologist known as Jeremy Wade, who catches those river monsters and on big fish. I love him so much because he does these shows, and they talk about all these scary monster big fish, and he proves it like, yeah, this thing exists, and he'll reel it out of the water and things like that. I love that show. It's a good show. But now he does Deadliest Rivers, but still a good show. Love that. He proves like these monsters, these fish exist. Who would win in a fight between Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet or Jean Grey with the Phoenix Force? That's never happened in the comics. The power of the Infinity Gems. I still call them gems. I don't. Or gems and stones. But I like the gems better. I like saying gems. And Jean Grey, who is the Phoenix, depending on what Phoenix, because if she's Dark Phoenix, yeah, then we're talking serious trouble. But if she's still just a regular Phoenix, where she's not all obsessed with the power, it depends. Phoenix has done some serious shit. And so I'm gonna go slight edge to Phoenix, because she can do some things that the gems can't do. Like the time, he can stop time and things like that, but she can absorb a lot of that power. Just remember that. Have you considered cosplaying as Mick Foley before? No. What Mick Foley? No, I have not ever thought about cosplay. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't. I'm not white, and I don't. But I don't. I'm not. I don't look like Mick. I can't even grow that beard, so I can't even grow his beard. Blaring a fan. It's funny. Some people have said there's one thing I might consider doing if I was to cosplay as any like famous person. I'd probably cosplay as one of my favorite YouTubers, Dashi, just to get a joke out of that, and maybe cosplay as Dashi one day, just to see what everybody think. So it's funny. Do you want a Justice League game in the style of Marvel's upcoming Avengers game? Maybe. They did a Justice League game before. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Would you cosplay as the Shadow? Oh, that's on the list. The Shadow and the Phantom are definitely on my list. Two of my favorite pulp era heroes. Definitely want to cosplay as the Shadow. To get the fedora and the trench coat and the mask. I don't have the nose. I don't have his nose. But yeah, I'd love to do that. I caught a big catfish in some sharks. Word, never caught a never caught us catfish. I mean, I've seen catfish in the river, and I give a lot of credit to a lot of them guys that get down in the muck and just dig for it, and basically let that catfish bite them in the hand, and they pull it out. Like I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing that. Sharks, never. I've seen people. I've seen videos of people catching sharks. But I wouldn't want to catch those. Also seen like them big groupers, big Goliath groupers. I seen a guy catch one of those just to show you how big they are. I was like, yo, I went fishing before, but I couldn't catch a single fish. It's about patience. Fishing is also about patience. Like if you ain't patient, you gotta feel when. That's why our grandpa was always like. Our grandfather was like that. Like he was patient. Like he says like you don't just throw the rod in and then oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's like you gotta feel it. Like if you watch River Monsters, how Jeremy Wade would he would have his finger on the fishing line, and he would like feel for like a vibration, and then fish on, and he pull it out. It's great. Wow. Yeah. When he catch some big ones, yeah. And he proves that piranhas don't just attack you. Like you can jump in the river and a piranha won't like attack you. He jumped in a pool full of piranha, and they just were just like, "What's up? Like, what's up? Who are you?" That's it. As a joke, I call the stones the magic fruity pebbles. That's a good one. Yeah, fruity pebbles. I have considered it. Oh, okay. Perry King, were you a fan of Michael Jackson's music growing up? Perry, I'm still a fan now. Like, I love Michael Jackson music. Must be new. Yeah, Perry, you've been with the pack. You've been running with the pack for some time. You know me. You should know your alpha. You should know your alpha, and you know that I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I have my favorite songs. I got my favorite albums. My favorite music videos. To me, the official theme song for Halloween is not a monster bag. No, it's Thriller. It's the Thriller song. Not that other song.
What about not John Carpenter's Halloween?
Yeah, we're not going on that one. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. That's right.
Yeah, just look at the Cubs.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Would you ever consider being your boy Godzilla for Halloween? I don't know. I'm not that big to, it would be kind of weird. But I love Godzilla. I mean, when I was in MegaCon, they had the Godzilla, and I took a picture right in front of it. It was really nice. I have a Godzilla statue. Well, he's not really a statue, but it's a figurine. It's old school Godzilla from 80-ish. Still 80-ish, like 80-ish, 70s look. But I want to get the new look for Godzilla. I know there's a lot of people that don't like his new look, but this is the biggest Godzilla to date. I mean, no Godzilla before him is as big as he is. The only design for Godzilla that really kind of creeps me out is Shin Godzilla. That creeps me out because it looks like he's bleeding. He's legitimately bleeding. Like, and
like SVP is bleeding.
Yeah, he's just bleeding. But the other thing about Shin Godzilla that was very interesting, like I said, is that when he would do his atomic breath, his jaw would like literally dislodge and go, and then he blows it out. But Shin Godzilla was more almost an homage to the original Godzilla from the 50s, which was actually really good. Like it kind of, because he came out, because that movie took place right after the tsunami that happened in Japan around that time. So basically, or was it the nuclear? It was one of those tragic events that happened in in Japan.
Yeah.
But it was still a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like the new Godzilla that's out now. Um, you know, I'm looking forward to the next one where he is gonna go against King Kong again. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. That win, he better get his win back against the Big Ape because that last time they fought, bullshit ending. Bull Godzilla drowns. Really?
He's got king in his name.
Fuck that shit. Let's see. Can you believe it's been 10 years since Michael's passing? Uh, it's funny, there are a lot of things that have just turned 10 years old. And yes, it's still hard. I mean,
June 25th.
His death still hurts. I remember when we were at a barbecue.
No,
when that? No, we weren't at a barbecue.
Like it was yesterday.
Yeah, what were we doing again?
We were just at the house.
Yeah, we just at the house.
And then Uncle Jerome received that text.
Yeah, our
he
uncle
received a text
yeah.
that, as Troy would say, a text that said Michael Jackson is dead or has died. Spread the word.
Right. Yes.
I didn't know if it was somebody that Uncle Jerome knew, but it just felt so cryptic. Like it felt like an anonymous text.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, turn to BET. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So Michael died. It was tragic. When Robin Williams died, that hurt me more.
I already got a little bit of an argument with Robin because I was like, he went out like a coward.
Yeah, man. Like, look, man. Yeah, look, I take it personal when people talk about, Robin Williams' death. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, but he killed himself. It's like, it's to the point where my hands are clenched. Like, say it again. Like, he had depression, and that's something that we still have not been able to figure out. I don't condemn what he did, but it still hurts, and it hurt for a year after his death. I could not watch any of his movies or just and hear his voice. It hurt so bad. I could not. I'll just start crying until finally I sat down, maybe 2 years later, and watched the Bicentennial Man, where he was the android, and I was just like, I can get through a movie without crying, really legitimately crying. It hurt. He's like the fewest celebrities' deaths that hurt me. When Stan Lee, I took that really hurtful. That Jesus Christ, you guys have no idea how much that hurt when Stan Lee died. That hurt. I prefer classic Godzilla. Are you a fan of pro wrestling? The pro wrestler Sting? Yeah, I'm a Sting fan. Like Sting. I've been a pro wrestling fan since I was 5. So I've been watching wrestling since I was 5. And Sting was that type of character. I was watching both. I was never, but Sting, when he was Surfer Sting, blonde hair, crew cut, woo, and things like that. I like, but when he became Crow Sting, I liked even better. Like, he was quiet. He was kind of like the dark, brooding, like avenging angel. Like, he was like a fallen angel. I like that Sting more, and I love that theme. His original theme, that theme is great. So yeah, I'm a fan of Sting. Never met him. I would love to meet him. Would you consider cosplaying as Nick Fury? Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of Nick Furies. I see more when I go to conventions. I see more black Nick Furies than original white Nick Furies, which is just funny to me. I'm just like, okay. It's I would either cosplay as Nick Fury or Nick Fury Jr., his son. So yeah. Which king do you for 1991 or 2019? 2019 was creepy, and I like the creepy factor with the current one now. Like I like that. Don't get me wrong, but with the old school, but I like the 2019 version better because it's more. You can literally feel like the difference, like with this one, because one thing is like the technology is better. So yeah, it's not like somebody's moving a bunch of heads and they're going all over the place and hey, no, this one it was like okay, this is a three-headed dragon and it's creepy. Like he looked menacing. So when him and Godzilla fought, it was like okay, and I liked how they did the story of like they've been going at it for years, and I like the whole concept of the whole concept of king of the king of monsters really meant something. You know, I mean, we all call Godzilla the king of monsters, the king of the kaiju's. But here in this last one, it really lived up to that name. It made sense. The king really felt like it was a title as well as just, oh, he's the king. Because what happened at the end? I don't want to spoil it for anybody who haven't seen it, but yeah, we saw what happened. Sting versus Ric Flair is a classic feud. Yeah, Sting, and that's when Flair put him over. Flair put Sting over, and yeah, because he became a mega star from there. Would you consider as the Spirit? I like the Spirit. I like Will Eisner's baby. That's Will Eisner's baby right there. And if I did it, I would do it with respect. You know, um, there's all this talk about. It's funny. There's all this talk about people who really get into cosplaying and they really cosplay as that character. There was a cosplayer who is from Paris, and I think she cosplayed as a black character, and she really went with the colored skin, and people were saying, "Oh, that's blackface," and I'm like, as a person of color, and I'm like, that's not blackface. That's stupid to think that way. She's just honoring that character. She's not making fun of it. She's honoring that character. There's a difference between blackface and honoring a character of color if you love that character. Sure, I've cosplayed as two white characters before, but it's not to say that I won't do it again, but you know, I would cosplay as a spirit, and even if somebody got it, be like, okay, you got it. But I would want to be more of the classic spirit with the blue fedora, blue, red, blue suit, not the kind of like I hated the movie. I hated the movie. It was like a slap. I said it before. Will Eisner was turning in his grave with that bullshit movie. That movie was terrible. I hated that movie. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Um, which type of movies did you watch growing up? Growing up in the '80s, I'm an '80s brat, so growing up, it was a lot of action. Definitely, action guys. I love sci-fi. But for me, definitely action. My first movie was Conan the Barbarian. So yeah, Conan. Love me Rocky. I love all the big three action heroes. Jackie Chan. I didn't get to see Jackie Chan until maybe I was 11. I I I saw Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. I wasn't even a teenager yet, but it was like 11 or 12 before I got to see those two. Van Damme, but my favorite sci-fi movie is Back to the Future. I think Back to the Future is the best time travel movie. It makes time travel very easy to explain, um, and did a great job. But yeah, I'm action buff, sci-fi, you know, animated movies. Back in the day, animated movies was coming out all the time in the '80s. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of my favorites, still to this day. So yeah. I love action. I'm a big action buff. Types of movie I like are action, sci-fi, suspense. All those type of movies. It's cool. Uh, Jaden Dunstan. Okay, so we got a troll in the pack, trying to run the pack. He wants to run with the pack. So, but I'm a answer his question. Let's entice the troll, shall we? How about that? So he asks me, "Am I gay?" No, I'm not. Do I have a problem with gay? No, I don't. Um, and there you go. Let's see. Oh no, yep. Spam alert, spam. Thank you guys. No problem. Dude, all right, dude, you are cool. Yeah, cool. Perry King, Frank Miller for that BS man. Yeah, like I don't want to say bad things about Frank Miller because seeing him now, he kind of scares me. That I'm scared that I'm gonna wake up and go online and on a comic site and legendary Frank Miller is he looks so like if you push him over, he'll break. Um, Frank Miller to me is it's not he's not bad. I I think first of all I'm not the biggest Dark Knight fan. The Return of Dark. I think those two stories are totally overrated. Um, I get where he was coming from, but it's just some parts of me just like the whole concept of him saying that Batman and Superman could never be friends, and he takes full responsibility for breaking up that friendship. It's for me, I love his Daredevil run. I love his Daredevil run. Um, 300 was good. I read a little of the graphic novel, but to me, Frank Miller. If I was to choose between his Daredevil run and Dark Knight, I'm going with his Daredevil run all the time. I do appreciate that he created Elektra. He gave us Elektra, so thank you for that as well. And you killed her off, but then she became so popular, she was resurrected. But yeah, I love his Daredevil run more. That was really Daredevil, and Daredevil needed that kind of rejuvenation because when Stan Lee was writing him, he was kind of falling in that place of like, okay, he's cool, but Daredevil doesn't have a lot of popular villains, and he doesn't. If you go really down Daredevil, and I love Daredevil, don't get me wrong, he's my second favorite, all-time favorite Marvel character. The only person above him is Spider-Man. And I'm still craving for Marvel to do an ongoing, like, world's finest book between those two. I don't know why Marvel has not done that. Like, I would love to read a book where it's Peter and Matt all the time. They're good friends. They're kind of like brothers, and you would be great to see them work together. I'm looking forward to Kevin Feige keeps teasing that, yeah, Charlie Cox will be back as Daredevil. And I would love to see, Charlie Cox come back as Daredevil in the MCU because, oh my God, and Jada Fire, that's crazy. Because and he was so good as Daredevil, and he loved playing that character. So you
feel the love.
Yeah, you could feel the love when he had to announce that the show was canceled. Like you could see it, like it was almost like he was emotionally drained, and far worse than when Stephen Amell announced that the show Arrow was ending.
Yeah, because he can say that he had a run.
Yeah, but when it was so when they're hearing all there's all these it's not even a rumor. People keep saying it's fake news. No. Kevin Feige has stated that he wants to bring and now he can because he basically runs all of Marvel now. He And the fact is that he has stated that he wants to bring some of those characters from the Netflix shows. Like he's really interested in bringing Charlie Cox and them back. He says John Burnoff, who played the Punisher, is a go. He wants to bring Mike Coulter back as Luke Cage. I think he said he would love Christian Ritter to come back as Jessica Jones. It's up to her. The only person that he has not considered is Finn Jones as Iron Fist. And as far as I'm concerned, okay, that's fine. Like Finn Jones is the one character as I give him, but as like he can easily be recasted. Recast him with somebody much better, maybe even a true martial artist, like somebody who can pull off. I keep saying it all the time. Christian Howard, who played Ken from Street Fighter Resurrection, would be great as Iron Fist. You know, I'm just saying he would. But to bring those characters back, be great. Just to see them, because I still feel that, and especially for Spider-Man, that would be the perfect time to bring Matt into the fold as Peter's lawyer. Like, boom, there you go. That's
like the same scene like when he helped Jessica Jones.
Yeah, like just stuff like that. Peter Parker, I'm Matt Murdock. Just. And you don't even have to do like an origin. You could just easily like, okay, yeah. Just like how they did Spider-Man. We never saw his origin in the MCU, but they put him in and you just heard him talk about like, okay, it was an accident. This happened. Daredevil can do the same thing. You don't have to do the origin, like show how he got blind, everything like that. No. That's with those Netflix characters, you could just easily put them in, like incorporate them into a story. I've said it before. The way you do Punisher, I would instantly do something with him and Bucky. Perfect. Him and Bucky. Luke, they want Luke Cage to be a part of the new Avengers. Okay, I'll do it. Like, let's go. Let's see. I hope they never remake Back to the Future. It's Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. Bob Gale, he's the main writer for. They have said over their dead body, like, and I hope they do. Like, don't remake that, because to me, there's nobody else that can play Marty McFly. I'm not just saying that as a Michael J. Fox fan. I'm just saying that in general. Yes, there was another actor before Michael J. Fox when they first were testing it, but he left. And there's nobody that can play Dr. Emmett Brown outside of Christopher Lloyd. And Christopher Lloyd just celebrated his 81st birthday, I think, last week. So yeah, like don't recast Doc. I don't see anybody else playing that could play that role like he did.
The wackiness.
Yeah, the wackiness, the quirkiness, the kind of the shyness around women, like the way he acted around women was just, he's still, as he said, the mysteries of the world is still women. Like, and nobody could do that like yell, oh, like you would make, nobody could do that. So yeah. Okay. Have you heard? I thought, to my knowledge, everybody had heard. Have you heard? I thought, to my knowledge, everybody had heard. What? I'm not sure what that is, Warhawk. Who would win, Thanos or One Punch Man? Everybody would probably say One Punch Man, because hence his name. I mean, that, don't get me wrong. Thanos would if Thanos can stand up to Galactus and people like that, then he can stand up to. But overall, I think, yeah. And I think people also get the misconception that it's always with the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos is tough without that gauntlet. And people forget that he is basically the equivalent of Darkseid. That's it. So, but I still give it a One Punch Man. I still don't understand why Frank Miller wouldn't make Batman and Superman friends. I don't either. But he always likes to take credit for it. Like, yeah, I'm glad I broke that friendship up. Doesn't make sense. Frank Miller also created the big guy and Rusty, the boy robot. Right, didn't he? I remember that. That was a good show. What up, Chris? How you doing? How do you feel about the first month of AEW? Oh, it's good. There's still a lot of improvement they got to do, especially the women's division. Is probably the biggest flaw right now for me is like their women's division, because as of right now, the first month, we have not really seen that women's division, like the full caviar of the women's division. It's just been the Doctor, the Doctor, get it? I'm a Doctor Who fan, sorry. And Rio, cute little Rio, and they always got to put she's 95, she's 90 pounds, like. And we saw the Native Beast. There's been no Allie. Hi, I'm Allie. I love her. If y'all know Allie, if you never watched Allie, she has her and oh God. Oh, man. Someone down wrong too. Rosemary. Man, what the hell? Allie and Rosemary, they got a show on YouTube, and it's called Realms of the Multiverse. Mass of the Multiverse, and it's just so hilarious. It's fun. It's so creative, and Allie's on there, and
But even with what we've seen,
I'm just saying.
I'm saying even with what we've seen, it's out of all their divisions, that's just
that's their weakest. That's their weakest right there division. Right, they have really showcased their tag division, which is great. You got your solo acts is fine, but and the other thing that probably bothers me is the rules. Like the lack of rules is just like ridiculous. Like watching these tag matches, and I'm just like, especially a Lucha Brother, I'm like, yo, he made a tag outside the. I'm like, wait, what? Like, where's the tag? Like things like that. But it's the right now their biggest flaw is their women's division. We haven't seen anybody else outside of the women I just mentioned. Yes, Kong is signed with, but let's be honest, is not much. You're not going to see Kia every week.
And if you do, you're not getting Kong from 2007 to 2009.
Right, you're not getting that Kong. She technically, in my opinion, should not be wrestling because she has back issues, right? Yeah, back issues. I love her, but it's just like you don't want to see somebody like the one thing I don't want to see in wrestling generally is see somebody collapse because of something in them broke and they can't get up. It's bad enough, seeing the Owen Hart shit, man, still haunts me to this day. But you don't want to see that. Like you don't want to see somebody collapse and like in the ring. I mean, I've seen Flair have many heart attacks in the ring, and that shit is scary. I've seen him get so rubbed up, and then he's just holding his heart, like holding his chest, like, and now he damn sure should not be taking bumps and anything like that. But yeah, it is what it is. AEW, don't get me wrong. I
enjoy the show.
I enjoy it, but there are weaknesses, and they got to work on that because over time it's just like you see some women, but then it's like, are they signed? Are they not signed? Things like that. Like this last episode that passed last week, it was like, Chris, the stream is glitching and not a bit. Really? I see it just fine. Maybe it's probably just on your end, probably. Vincent D'Onofrio was perfect casting as Kingpin. Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
and he definitely is ready to come back as that character. Bring him back.
That's for Spider-Man.
Yeah, yes, Kingpin first appeared in Spider-Man. He is technically a Spider-Man villain too, but he made his name as a Daredevil villain, adversary. But he hates both equally. He does. Like, I remember when he was trying to escape to Europe, the first thing he did was like try to make them, get like a one up over them, and hence what he did with Aunt May, and once Peter revealed himself to the world, and which was just, to me, it was bad writing all around, because it's like Peter would never do that, like reveal himself to the world. I've been Spider-Man since I was 15. Like, that's why I hate Civil War in general. I hate that story. I hate the first one. I hate the second one even more. It made those characters look stupid, and Peter just revealed himself. But I will say I did like the Back to Black story arc, just seeing what happens when you fuck with Peter's family and what he can do if he don't hold back. And I love that fight between him and Kingpin. Like, Kingpin looked like he was gonna walk out of jail, no problem. Came down, and Peter was like, I'm not gonna. Spider-Man, no. Spider-Man's not gonna beat your ass. Peter Parker is. Beat his ass up. Beat fat boy up. Even though most of his body is muscle, but he beat that man. Picked his ass up by the hair on his skin, and was like, now crawl back to your cell. And if you come out of that cell, I'll do this to you again. And everybody is watching the fight, like all the other inmates, like, and he whooped Kingpin's ass. It was just like, why are you screwing with Peter's family? Like, and it's Aunt May. But once again, what I don't like about it also is that Peter was willing to give up his marriage to the devil, to one version of the devil in Marvel. I hate that, and it bothers me so much, because it's like, what does Mephisto have to do with Peter? When has Mephisto ever dealt with Spider-Man? Since when has Mephisto ever looked at Spider-Man as, ooh, that's one of those metahumans I could really play with now? What the fuck? It just bothered me so badly. I hate that storyline. I hate it. And then you know what they did? And later on they did it again. Mephisto made it now mess with Miles. Miles made a deal with it. I'm like, what is now his obsession now with spider characters? It's stupid. It bothered me so badly. Okay, so moving on. It was a joke. Oh, okay. Sorry, Warhawk. I didn't know. Frank Miller has some controversial views. Yeah, he does. Nobody's denying that. What would happen if Apocalypse had the Infinity Gauntlet? Oh God! I mean, he already had this celestial armor on, so add that with the gauntlet. Okay. Why does Frank Miller always write Batman like an asshole?
That's how he likes him.
I guess that's how he likes him.
Oh yeah,
He sees him. So yeah, here's another Who Wins question. Would Godzilla 2019 win, or Godzilla Earth? That's from that's a good question. I might have to come back to that one. Yo, brother DB, what's up? I saw your vid. You look good. And I've been keeping tabs on your GoFundMe. Yo, dude, that thing is up. That thing is up. So, and I will be contributing soon. 2000 was the best year for wrestling. Not to mention No Mercy came out that year.
It was a great year.
It was a great year, and No Mercy. I still like WrestleMania as well. But No Mercy is definitely probably one of the best wrestling games of its time, still out there. And don't get me started on what's going on with the games now. The Green Current game now.
Yeah, but
Here comes the pain. Why don't you like Catwoman? Okay, simple. Okay, let's break it down. Okay, I can understand Bruce's like affection for her, but before that, but still the point he treats her so differently. No matter what the hell she does, she gets treated so differently. Now, if that was somebody else that did that in his rogues gallery, he would flip out. He treats her so differently with biasness, and I hate that. And I'm like, and the more biasness he lets her get away with, the more crap the more I hate her. I'm like, now Bruce, you now if that was Penguin, you end up breaking his nose or some shit like that. And then that whole wedding bullshit. I'm like, if y'all were gonna marry them, y'all would have did not this bull crap. It was at first I was this close of buying into it. Oh my God, Bruce is gonna be married. Nope. There's a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for Zoe Kravitz. I'm pulling for her as Catwoman, and Matt Reeves. I think she's going to do great. I want her to have fun with that character, with that role. You know, I think a lot of people they're saying, "Oh, she's the first black Catwoman." No, she's not. It's like there's so many people that are forgetting Eartha Kitt, and I'm like, you're forgetting the Eartha Kitt was Catwoman and probably did the greatest purr ever. Nobody will ever come close to what she did with that character. Michelle Pfeiffer was a good Catwoman. I just didn't like the whole concept of Catwoman with powers. You know, that she can die and that whole 9 lives stuff. Like,
really had 9 lives.
Yeah, she had really had 9 lives. I love Batman, Tim Burton's Batman. Don't get me wrong. But Batman Returns, seeing how she died. I mean, first of all, Christopher Walken's her own boss killed her, pushed her out of the building, and
he killed her?
And he and she's hitting like like the rain, things that catch the rain. She's clock, 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 and from the view you just see her going clock, 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 like that. So when she hits the ground, then all of a sudden all these cats come out of nowhere, come around her body, and start biting her. And I'm like, okay. And she's twitching and her eyes, and then her eyes wake up, and all of a sudden now she acts more cat-like. And don't get me wrong, Michelle Pfeiffer looks like a cat. She looks like a cat. The only other actress I can say that looks like a cat is
Natalie Dormer.
Yeah, Natalie Dormer. She also looks like a cat. But and then Halle tried to do it, and you all know where that went. Now. But I've never been a big fan of her. I like her Marvel equivalent better. I like Black Cat more because even Peter has, but Felicia has a tendency to. I just didn't like what Marvel was doing her as of late. Making her this crime boss. I'm like, and it all started because some idiot in sheep's clothing. I'm talking about Doc Ock. Want to go and punch her. And she never forgot that punch and was like, okay. And then she became like afflicted with every other spot. Then she wanted to start messing with Miles. And I'm like, hey, what? Why? Catwoman just is. Oh, and I'm forgetting another person who was Catwoman. I skipped Anne Hathaway. I skipped her, sorry. And she was an okay Catwoman too. Yeah, she was okay. I didn't hate her. I like Anne Hathaway. I didn't mind her at all, but it is what it is. Can you and it's funny to think that in that movie, Zoe was actually auditioned to be Catwoman in that movie. And she was told by said director that you're too urban for that character. Okay. I'm gonna just end it with that one. What up? React to more FBE. Um, who's that? Blue Panther Gaming and React. Uh, that just shows that you don't follow me completely, because if you did,
Oh man,
you would
make him feel
no,
bad.
I ain't trying to make him feel bad. I'm just saying,
If he could take it that way,
if don't take it personally, okay? But follow the other channel. That's where the FBE vids are now. So you go over there, and that's where they are exclusively. The other pack members could have told you that too. So just saying. I don't mind Lee Schreiber as Kingpin in the Spider-Verse. Yeah, but that's just his voice. He just voiced the character. He didn't play Kingpin. Was played that role so well. One more day really does suck. You damn right it sucks. Can't stand that one. I wonder, Dark Primus, how would Daredevil react if he caught Spider-Man kicking Kingpin's ass during that moment? I've seen Daredevil do it too. So it's like, what? He wouldn't react. And now if Peter killed him, I think, yeah, he would have reacted like that's not you, Peter. But anything else, he would have been fine with it. Like, he didn't kill him. What if Frank Castle was given super soldier serum rather than Steve Rogers?
Well, more help for the criminals.
Yeah, more help. I mean, he's bad enough without powers. With them, well, he doesn't really have. It's okay. All right, let's. Captain America doesn't technically have powers. Okay, he's just at peak strength, meaning he's at the best of an. Like, you could take the best athlete.
He has the peak capability of a human being.
Yeah, like you take the best Olympic level athletes. He's like double that. Like, he can lift more than the average person. Like 700 pounds, he curl that no problem. But anything over that, he's not at like somebody would say, "Oh, Cap's stronger than Spider-Man." No, he's not. If he could never hold like a truck over his head, no, he can't do that. Like, he basically the super soldier serum is just a souped up steroid. That's pretty much. I hate to call it that, but that's exactly what it is. It really is that. But the super soldier serum also, it has to. People don't understand that it also works with your body chemistry. It has to, almost in a sense, your body has to accept it. And I don't think, and we've seen like there have been other test subjects that have tried it and it failed. It was something about Steve Rogers' physique and body chemistry that worked so well with that serum. So that's why it worked so well with him. I don't think it would work that well with Frank. But it would be scary. Bonk Casino. I also heard one of the what if stories is Peggy Carter's getting the serum instead of, yeah, they're doing the what if cartoon series. The first episode is what if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum, and she's Captain Britain or America. I don't know what they're going to call her, but Steve is in it. He's just in an armored suit, but he's in it. I don't like the way she's written Catwoman. It might be why I never brought a comic, because yeah. When will you come back to my will? When I feel, when I'm ready to. Relax, dude. A question. I'm thinking about it. Like, NWO or Bullet Club? I'm gonna go NWO because I didn't watch enough Bullet Club. So I can't really give it. I can't say, NWO. I pretty much watched to the beginning and to the when they just became just oversaturated. That's the best word I can use for that. Bro, that makeup is hard to get off. I would think so. Like, yeah, I would think so. Do you smoke weed? Hell no, I do not. I hate the smell of weed. I hate the smell of cigarettes. I hate the smell of any kind of cigarette. Don't matter what it is. I hate it. So no, I don't. I don't do any of that. I hate it. I hate the smell. Like I can't. Hey, uh, was the Cosby Show one of your favorite sitcoms growing up? Yeah, still is. Um, doesn't take anything away from what that show um meant to us. It came on a time when we weren't seeing prominent black families on TV. It always shows before Cosby Show was always black family growing up in the ghettos. Nothing wrong with that because good times and things like that. But it was always played off of comedic roles as well, and sometimes overly stupid. You know, but here is a orthodox OBGYN doctor and a lawyer living in Brooklyn, raising 5 children. Well, at first it was 4. Then they introduced the eldest, and they're going through all types of different problems and everything like that. And no matter what, Bill Cosby made being a dad really cool. Hence why he was called America's Dad. I will never take anything away from that show or what that man did, even though what has gone on personally in his life sucks. But that show, you never take away from what that show and what those actors did for that show. And I think that's something that needs to be showcased more because everything that happened, but with everything that showcased happened, it's kind of the same thing with like, with Seventh Heaven, that the father that he was a child molester and everything like that, and they never I don't even think they took
they did.
They took.
They did.
Yeah.
They took 7 Heaven.
And then they brought it right back.
And then they quietly brought it back. But then again, Cosby Show got brought back.
Yeah. But the point is that it still is one of my favorite shows. I still can sit down and watch it and still love it. Because it meant something. It's a milestone. It's a milestone not just for America, but for Black America culture. Like, yeah, look at this very upper middle class Black family. What we don't get to see there a lot of, because there are prominent middle class Black families, and we don't get to see it. And like I said, doctor and a lawyer raising 5 children. Just saying, and to add to that, being in the 80s, it wasn't, and don't get me wrong, because I like those shows too. It wasn't as if it was a Black child being adopted by a rich white guy or something like that. Different Strokes is a good example of that. And Webster, Emmanuel Lewis, his show, which he was a Black kid being raised by white parents. Nothing wrong with that either, but you was getting that a lot. You was getting that, especially in the 80s, you were getting that kind of stuff. It was almost like they didn't want to show that. And then Mr. Cosby comes along and shows us that. And then not only does he do that, then he does A Different World, which showcased Black kids going to college and showing college life and things like that, which was great, which was like a spin. It was a spin-off of Cosby Show. Which what if scenario would you like to see in the upcoming series? I don't know. I'm more excited about just what they're going to do, because it is doing a lot of, like, it's more going to do a lot of the MCU movie stuff. It's It's not going to be taken from like the comics and stuff. But I'm just more literally looking forward to it, like what they're going to do with it. You know, um, I'm more excited about that, like what scenarios, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the animation in motion. You know what because I've already seen like what it's going to look like. Um, Batman's greatest comic, in my opinion, is Daughter of the Demon. What's yours? Um, No Man's Land. No Man's Land. Long Halloween. Yeah, the Killing Joke, of course. Yeah, that's going to be there. But No Man's Land is definitely my favorite. Overall, my number one favorite Batman storyline. It's the longest, but because that storyline ran through every Batman book.
But what about it single? Like,
but in terms of,
there's a lot of stories that I've run through, but is it a case where, because what was the
main thing was Gotham City?
No, I know that, but I know the main thing. But I'm trying to think of another series. I remember Blue Goblin. It was like, yeah, it was a case of where the side stuff was better than the actual main story.
Yeah, but the main story really, what I loved about No Man's Land the most was just the camaraderie and the determination of the GPD, the GCPD, showcasing also showcased that not all of his road gallery are just hardened criminals. They do have souls and they do care. Like Poison Ivy, she was a good example of that. Like she protected orphans in the park. Like she all the orphans of Gotham were in the park, and she protected them from like them psycho criminals like that escaped from things like that. Like it was, and it really showcased just like how good of a general Commissioner Gordon really is. Like if he was, it felt like to me reading that once again, if Commissioner Gordon was a general in the military, damn, he was a good general, because not only was he good for just camaraderie and keeping his soldiers morale up, like he was on the front line with them. I like generals like that. Good leader doesn't just stand in the back and let he's there out there too. And my one of the biggest, and of course that's also where we saw the first appearance of Cassandra Cain. She was there. That was also when Helena Bertinelli was Batgirl for a while. Yeah, Huntress was Batgirl for a while. But probably the biggest moment, of course, is just that final scene of Bruce and Gordon together, and Bruce is just so impressed by Gordon, everything he did, everything he was, that he revealed himself. He wanted Gordon to see who's the man underneath the cowl. And what did Gordon do? He turned around. Out of respect, he's like, no, I don't want to see it. He was like, no, I don't want to see it. Like, it was almost like a matter of trust, but also a matter of like an honor of our relationship. I don't want to see your face. Like
I don't need to know who you are I don't even know who you are to know that I can trust
you. Yeah. So it was that was definitely,
like, it always like that never was my mission to find out who you are.
Right. Are you straight edge? Now, okay, now I'm not CM Punk. I don't smoke, but I drink on occasion, special occasions. I don't drink heavy, that's for sure. But I have gotten twisted, and those are memories I try not to think about. But I'm not like a drunk. Like I'm always coming home with something to drink, or like a liquor or something like that. No, I drink on occasions, but I don't smoke. I never have. And I don't like. I've never. And it's funny, Malcolm and I are in a family where, especially on our mother's side, a lot of our aunts smoked. A lot of our mom's sisters smoked. And I just don't like that smell. I don't want my clothes smelling like it. And I don't want your secondhand smoke and things like that. But it's funny, a lot of my aunts have quit, but my mother's mother smoked. Her sister, my mom had four sisters, excuse me, four, and three out of three out of four of them smoked, including my mother. My late mother smoked, and she knew I didn't like that smoke. She knew I didn't like that, so she would try not to smoke around me. But now I'm not completely straight edge, but I drink responsibly, if that's the best way to describe it. Warhawk. I don't do anything stupid. That's why, people, if I tell people my age, it's kind of like, they're like, wait, you're almost that, but you don't look it. And I tell them, because I don't do a lot of stupid stuff. Like, I just don't do all that stuff. It's not me. It's not in me. My hobbies are what kept me out of trouble doing this stupid stuff. I've seen friends that I've known since, elementary, and I see them now, and some of them I'm just like, I don't even recognize that person, because it's not all of them, but I've seen some from high school that weren't like good friends with, but I recognized in my acquaintance, and I'm just like, oh, man, like what happened to him? But no, I'm not completely straight edge. You see, I don't have the tattoos or anything like that. I want more tattoos.
You don't have to be tattooed to be straight edge.
No, I'm done. But no, I'm just saying, I just did it like CM Punk, he does that. Let me see. Are you okay? Hopefully, we'll get better Marvel cartoons under Feige. I do hope that too. Because like I said before, with 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 Loeb, when he was running Marvel TV, I hated the fact that I still will not forgive him for canceling Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I still won't forgive him for that. Like, because he was in charge of Marvel TV at that time, and I was, why you cancel that show? And then you give us a lukewarm version of Avengers.
That was just to resemble the movie.
And that's the other thing. What I don't like about these current cartoons now is that they're resembling the MCU too much. It doesn't need to be. Like, you don't need to do that. But look at the Avengers now. It's like, at that point, they was kind of resembling until later on they stopped. But it's like, you don't need to do that. Like, but don't get me wrong, the Marvel Spider-Man that's on, I will sit down and watch it. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but there's really no real storytelling to it, because Loeb don't like episodic TV like that. He never really liked that.
So he more like
one and done. That's why you seen them episodes. They were like one. That's why I'm shocked that they did basically the Superior Spider-Man story arc in this, and I'm like, they did a story I hated. But but here it was like almost like, okay. But so hopefully he will do that right. To me, the best TV dad will always be Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil's definitely up there. He's definitely up there. Uncle Phil was a good dad. He definitely was. I mean, he was a good uncle too. I mean, because he wasn't Will's dad. He was kind of Will's surrogate father, but he was a good dad. He was a good dad. And once again, another prominent Black father figure. Here he was. First, he started as a lawyer. Then he became a judge, and was able to keep his kids kind of. The only thing he always worried about, and him and Vivian always said, was worrying that the way they lived would affect their kids, and it kind of did. Especially Hillary. It literally affected her. Like, she became
to comedic effect.
A comedic effect, but it was like, living that kind of life, living in Bel Air, which is a very prominent area in LA, and she's living that lifestyle, and going always to the mall, and she even had like that Valley girl like attitude. Oh my God, like stuff. So it's like,
and every time she was not all that bright.
And it in the beginning it was affecting Carlton, but it kind of started tingling down the more he hung out with Will and understood. That was what Will always kind of hated. When if you watch that first season, you can see that Will hated that whole concept, like because Will is like blue collar, he's street, I don't want to say street,
family, man.
but he was just he's a working class. He was from a single mother, working class, and still to this day, if I was to name my favorite episode of First Prince of Bel-Air, it's that episode when Will met his dad again, and that's probably the episode that people finally started to realize, okay, Will Smith can act, because that episode right there, every time I watch that episode, I cry, my eyes get watery because I put myself in Will's shoes. Like, what if I didn't grow up with my father? Like how would I feel? And then he comes back into my life after maybe 20 some years later, and we're supposed to like have a relationship.
It's more that because we've seen cases where the father or the mom that was estranged or whatever, they come back and stuff. That's not the issue. The issue with Lou is that he didn't even take up the responsibility.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like,
that's what in my mind. That's why I'm thinking. What if our dad didn't take the responsibility and it was up to, I don't know, Uncle, Uncle, other uncles, Uncle Charles, Uncle Jerome, but there comes our dad just comes back. Yeah. And it was like, hey, I'm ready to be. That's why for any loving son, that scene right there gets you, because you're just thinking it's not more about, oh, they know my dad, because I can speak for myself. I can speak for myself. Unlike you, I never met mom, so I don't know what
You met her, but you were too young.
Don't have memories of her. So to me, it's like for me, it's I never met her. I don't have chemistry. I don't have memories of it. So, but it'd be like if she didn't pass away, but she just left, never had any forms of communication. It was off to dad. Next time she just comes back and then she'd be like, oh yeah, mom comes back. Dad's gonna be like, well, wait a minute. But then when push comes to shove, I'm gonna try to leave again. That's why it's more for that scene. Why it's like, yeah.
But that's like one of my.
And then what's even worse is the same actor. I forget what his name is. Who played Phil's dad? Who played Lou? Who played Lou? Will's dad. He goes on once again to be scum of the earth. We come to find out, and I don't watch the show religiously, but when Dad and them was watching Empire, he's Queen Latifah's dad. And we come to find out that he did sexual things to her.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And I'm just like, yo, he's always playing some bad dad.
Remember when you said someone that is in the React channel is on your hit list? Yeah. I know that. Hey Chris, hi Caroline. What comics you have never read or want to read from the big two? It's funny because I never really fully read all of the questions, Vic Sage's question. Like, I like the question, but I'm more of a Renee Montoya question. I like when she was the character more. But I would love to read his original run. I read all the Birds of Prey. Anything Gail Simone I've read. So anything she's written for DC I've practically read. So yeah, you shouldn't be surprised with that. Marvel, it's hard to say because I've read practically almost everything on Marvel too. The original Guardians of the Galaxy run. Not we're talking about the original Guardians of the Galaxy, not Star Lord. But I'm talking about uh, Val Astro and Yondu and um, Charlie 47, all those characters. That's the original Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw them in the movie, um, but yeah, that's the original Guardian of the Galaxy. People don't know that there's the original Guardians. And I would say also um, the I would I would want to read uh no.
Why?
No, more the old school Marvel comics when they were called Atlas, when they were like I would want to read the original Ghost Rider comic, not Ghost Rider, but when he was called the Phantom Rider. You know, when he was kind of like a Western, those types. I know it's MCU. Oh, how are you hoping the characters such as Catwoman, Riddler, and Batman himself will be portrayed in Matt Reeves' Batman? Yeah, we got the Riddler. The Riddler is we're gonna see a new Riddler in Matt Reeves. Catwoman needs to just be the alluring but femme fatale, if I can say that, that she is. It's almost like look, but you can't touch. Like, because I will don't get me wrong, don't touch. Like, I like that the whole cat and mouse between her and Batman. Like, you can chase me, but you'll never catch me. Like how they used to do it on the animated show. I like that. But with Riddler, yeah, can't catch me. But with Riddler, I don't want him. He should be more the how the Riddler is in the Arkham games. I want Riddler more like that, more like the genius, and he knows he's a genius, and that makes him dangerous. Like I don't want him being kind of like the kind of. I don't get me wrong. Jim Carrey, his Riddler was a combination of himself, but also the classic Riddler from the Adam West, because that Riddler was kind of quirky and he would do all and things like that.
He almost came across as a Joker.
Yeah, he kind of came up. No, I want Riddler almost dead. Like when he comes up with these, almost I want Riddler similar to I want to say Jigsaw in a little bit, where he is.
Like, that almost like you make him a more darker Riddler.
No, not that dark, but I want him to be like he's intelligent. And Batman really has to see. That's the other thing that I want from this. That Matt Reeves is saying that this Batman is going to be different from every other Batman movie. Is that this is going to be more of a detective movie that just has Batman, a man in a costume. We have never really seen Batman live up to that namesake of world's greatest detective. You feel me? He's never really had that. You go down every Batman movie. There's tweaked little dips of it, but never really he's really in his laboratory deciphering something or anything like that. He's never doing that. It's just like he goes in, he looks around, he's not really using any of his gadgets. The only gadgets he uses more offensive gadgets. But I want him like, kind of like Arkham City, the Arkham games where he's using his this and that. That's how I want it. Like he's saying Matt Reeves said this is a true detective story. That's what we need. We need something like that. That's what I always wanted from a Batman movie. It was not until Batman v Superman where we got kind of what I wanted to see. Fine, Batman truly living up to being this great fighter, and that one scene, we saw him be like Batman.
Yeah, because they was paying homage
Yeah.
to the Arkham games.
That was the first time ever where I saw Batman being like a legit fighter. Like, okay, he's throwing kicks, he's blocking, he's doing all this, he's doing counters, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he was stabbing people that but it was Batman that I wanted. The Batman that we have had in the past, even Michael Keaton's Batman, I look at his Batman, I'm like, he's not really a martial artist, even though
what is he?
It's like what is he like? You go back and watch that scene where he's running with Vicky Gale, Vicky Gale, right? Yeah,
Vicky Gale.
It's Vicky Gale.
You got the Vicky part.
Vicky, right? Vicky Vale. Excuse me,
Vale.
Vicky Vale. I'm Gale. And Joker's men comes and he's fighting them. And then there's one guy that comes out. Yeah, he flips over and he's got the katanas and he's and Batman gets in that like a pose, like almost like a stance, like okay, he's gonna throw and then at first it looks like okay, the guy's using the katanas and Batman's blocking with his gauntlet. And
the sequence is
nice. The sequence is nice. Like and then you see one thing and you actually hear Bruce make a like the Kia. He goes, yeah. He throws like an iron palm. Yeah. And then the guy just do something. Yeah. And then Bruce just kicks him a little bit and that's it. And since that time, it became that way. It was like he throw a little kick or punch. And even at the end of that movie, he's fighting that big black dude, and he just getting punched by this guy. Remember, he's just getting beat up, and then he just does one kick, and it was just like, and then from there, the fights got worse and worse, and also you got to put into consideration it was not easy to move around that suit. Okay, let's be honest, it wasn't easy to move around that first suit. Michael Keaton going on record said it was terrible. Like you saw, he couldn't turn his head. He had to literally turn his whole body. And Val Kilmer's suit was no different. And it wasn't until the Dark Knight.
Yeah, because it was even it was even played up in the movie.
Yeah, it's played up, but still, let's talk about Christian Bale's Batman. He was. You see him training, and it was like he ain't nothing but a brawler. Like the fight, and especially in that fight with him and Bane, I'm like, what is this? Like, yeah, especially when he was yelling, when he's backing up and yelling at Bane. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And even when they fought at the end, it was more. It wasn't even close quarters combat. It was just like, I hit you, and this and that. That's it. So when Affleck comes along, you literally see him doing martial art techniques, takedowns, this and that. I'm like, finally, I got to see Batman do martial arts on this big screen. But now, I want to see Batman be a real detective. You understand? You feel me? So that's definitely something I want. Sorry I did that, but yeah, try to explain that. Going back to that question about 2019 and Godzilla Earth, I'm gonna probably say slight edge to 2019. All right, there you go. I think Bryan Cranston could have been a great cast as Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, I mean Jeffrey Wright. Because Jeffrey Wright is a hell of an actor, so to see him take on the responsibility as Commissioner Gordon, it's going to be really interesting. Jeffrey Wright is also going to be the voice of the Watcher, so that's going to be interesting. You know, this is the first time we're actually seeing a black Commissioner Gordon. You know, so with that being said, that means Barbara's black. You know, and that is what it is. And I know definitely DC has this clause in there. Well, Warner Brothers has this clause with those movies that they want more diversity in. And I think I forget what actor had big saying that too. So, but yeah, it should be interesting. Let's see. Marvel needs more animated shows with quality of DC shows from the 90s and 2000s. Yeah, they had it and they got canceled. Wolverine X-Men was good. We had that second season was ready to go. Canceled. Spectacular Spider-Man. Great. Canceled. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That second season was good, and then to me, it got rushed. I would have never ended that with Galactus. I would have never had that. But they added Galactus in there, and they didn't even have all the heralds. Silver Surfer wasn't there. The question is underrated. Yeah, he is underrated. Will you ever do another Q&A where you ask us questions? Yeah, I will. Don't worry. I have to let you guys know that when I will announce that one. Perry, the whole fandom wants Cranston to be. I want to see Bryan Cranston. To me, I still think Bryan Cranston can not rock a Professor Xavier. I still think he can rock that. My favorite TV dad will always be Piccolo. I'm just kidding. Hey, Piccolo was a good father figure. Don't knock him. Are you gonna play Last of Us Part 2? Yes, I am. How are you hoping Cheetah will be betrayed in Wonder Woman 84, as well as the dynamic between her and Diana? She better be fully like a female, a humanoid cat. Like, I don't want to see her just, her eyes are cat-like and she's got fangs.
Or could it be like they just mix her up with herself and Vixen?
Yeah.
Where it's almost like she has the spirit.
Yeah, nah. I saw concept art and it showed Diana in the armor, that new armor she's got. Well, it's classic armor, but yeah. And Cheetah, full cat. I'm hoping she's fully the cat, like the full humanoid Cheetah. Like and that dynamic, yeah. Like I want it to be similar to Diana doesn't want to fight her, like she doesn't, but she has no choice. Like, because that was the case for a while with Cheetah in early days. Like, yeah, before when Barbara Minerva, because she's playing Barbara Minerva Cheetah. She's not playing the classic Cheetah, because there was a Cheetah before who was just like kind of like Catwoman in a cheetah suit. The Priscilla Presley, I think that was her name.
That was when I was on Superfly.
Yeah, that's the original Cheetah. Then when they upgraded her to really kind of, she came like one with she got the powers from the gods and stuff like that. Did you see Batman and the TMNT movie? What did you think of Batman versus Shredder? I think Shredder
watched it last Sunday.
Just finally just watched it. I've had that for a long time, and I finally watched it last Sunday. I liked it. I'm gonna do a review on it in general. I liked it, Ken, but I had the same problems that I had with reading the comics. Made Batman look too good, and the Turtles came off like jokes.
In the fighting
part, it bothered me. Like, I've said it before, I understand Batman has 90 plus years, 50 plus more years over the Turtles. I get that. But they shouldn't be taken, they should be taken seriously as well at times. The only one that should be kind of clowny was, and I didn't like Donnie's look. Like, why did he look like an alien?
No, it's like, yeah, it's in the more and more with these animations, they try to make him look more geeky.
Yeah, more geeky.
But this one, yeah, he looked so creepy.
He looked creepy. Raph looking more beat up and stuff. I understand they want to try to give a distinguished look for the Turtles. I get that. But sometimes you don't need to go that route. it's more of their personalities that that defines who that character is. Um, I Troy Baker, don't get me wrong, I love Troy Baker as voicing Batman. He's a good Batman. He voices him really well. He did sound a little, tried to sound like Kevin Conroy. I didn't like him as Joker. I did not like yeah, he voiced Joker in that, and I didn't like that. I was like, oh, he's trying to sound way too much like Mark Hamill. And the biggest other big flaw I had with the movie is how they portrayed the mutagen, the ooze. They did a terrible job with that. And I'm a spoiler, sorry, spoiler right here. They did it because in this movie, the mutagen, you just needed to come in contact with it and you morph into an animal. I've been reading Turtles for a long time, and I know that's not how the mutagen works. You have to be exposed to it and in contact with an animal. So in this movie, Joker, Harley, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, the Scarecrow, Bane, and Mr. Freeze turned into animals that just somewhat were equivalent to them, but not. Like no exposure to them, including Poison Ivy turned into just a big plant. I'm like, that's not an animal though. She was like a Venus flytrap, and they play that off comedic. Mr. Freeze turned into a polar bear. Yeah, I'm like, wait.
But he didn't touch
any. He didn't touch a polar bear. Bane turned into a jaguar. I'm like, where's the jaguar at? Joker turned into a cobra. I'm like, when was he touching a snake?
No, the only one that would make
the only one that was Harley.
Because you can imagine,
okay,
she probably always touches.
She kind of turned. She turned to a dog or a hyena.
She went more of like just looked like a dog.
A dog, but it's just like
it wasn't like she had like
the stop. Yeah, the hyena. Yeah. So I gave the benefit. Oh, she's always around them hyenas. She's touching them babies, But Mr. Freeze and even the Scarecrow, I was like, okay,
what was he?
He was a crow.
Yeah.
And Two-Face was a cat. I'm like,
where if cat? He was a dog, he was a cat dog.
Yeah, I'm like,
he was a two-headed cat.
That bothered me so much.
I also want to say,
yeah.
You brought up Michelangelo, like each song would be fun. I think over time there's been a misconception
of his goofiness,
or you can even say a regression of the Michelangelo character. Because to me, I still think probably the 80s in terms of animation depiction, and maybe to a degree the 2003 got it right. Because now we all see that Mikey being the fun lover is almost him being the dummy.
Yeah, like that.
Because he just comes like, he's not basically. And if we're comparing him to a wrestler or so, Michelangelo is RVD.
Right.
And he's cool, but he is not like he's dumb.
No.
But most time when they do these crossovers now, whether it's in TMNT or he always having somebody. In this case, you had Damien. He warmed up to him. The dumb one.
Like,
Michael is not dumb. Like, it's just like when they had the French the development company that made that Fantastic Four.
Right.
Where they made Johnny Storm dumb.
Moonscope.
Moonscope made him dumb. It's like, no, he's not dumb. Yeah, he's lighthearted and he's the jokester, but but he's cool.
Yeah.
Cool should not mean they got no brain.
Right.
But it seems though with Michael as the years go by, it's like they spoke of instead of him being a common comedic relief, which he can be, it's more like no. He's a comedic relief because he's kind of dumb.
Right. Like reading the IDW comic, that was the perfect depiction of what I wanted from Michelangelo. The way he is in that, I'm like, that's Mikey. Like, that's the Mikey I like. Like, he's a fun guy, but he's also as they said, he's the one with the most heart. He's got the most heart out of all of us, and
the glue.
He's the glue, and I like that. Here it just was like, okay, he's the dumb one. It's like, and it was like, yo, he's too dumb, like, and even Damien in this, even though it was Damien, which
I gotta give him
I'll give him that because
I actually like Damien.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Hey, he's all right.
Probably because it was Tim.
Yeah, that's all. I was like, that's Tim. That's not Damien. That's
at first he came across Tim because he just kind of being get off of me, man. But after like, oh, he's Tim.
I really wish they didn't have Batgirl looking like her Brightburn look. I don't like that costume. Yeah, I don't like her Brightburn, her Burnside. Excuse me, her Burnside costume.
Brightburn.
I don't like that. I like her old school look. I really wish they did that. The fight between Shredder and Batman was good.
I only saw the last one.
And the first fight, I was like, yeah, probably Shredder's gonna beat him, and he did. But and then of course the end. But even in the end, the next fight, Batman didn't beat him.
He didn't beat him
individually. No, he had
because spoiler.
Yeah.
He had Raph.
Yeah, Raph, and they did the shell. Boom. And I was like, okay. And then I did like the fight between Leonardo and Ra's al Ghul. And yeah, I was like, well, yeah, of course, Ra's is gonna have more skill over, Leo. He's been around longer. I get it. But I love where Leo did like that 5 pressure point. I learned that from a rat. And I'm like, okay, it was good. But I will, if they do another one, which I hope they do, I'm looking forward to it. But there was issues I had with the movie in general. And those are all could be like, those are kind of nitpicking, but it's just, when I want to see the Turtles betrayed right, I want them to be portrayed right. Like, don't portray them like just, oh, Mikey's the goofy, dumb one and the party one. Donnie's just a smart one that just can't think of anything else but just beakers and Bunsen burners, and stop making him look so big. And it's getting that way with every cartoon you see. Donnie is always looking like the creepy. Look at the last animated one that I like. I don't watch that other one that's on the last one that was CGI. Donnie, he's the most slender one, and also with that big buck gap. He got that big gap in his teeth. I'm like, why is he looking like that? But yeah, I did enjoy it.
I was also gonna say, you brought up how he beat
Ra's al Ghul.
No, how Shredder, won up Batman the first fight. But that's the thing. That's the thing. What I get a sense of, if you have somebody just wash, the turtle in a way where it's like, wait a minute. Doesn't that guy make Shredder look like a joke? You can't beat these turtles.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
But there's one guy.
Yeah, like and what bothered me so much about that when the Turtles met Batman is that he had just finished fighting Shredder, and Shredder did that technique on him. And he even said,
"You wouldn't have known."
He was like, "I'm still feeling it," and I'm like,
"You wouldn't have known."
He beat them, and then when him and Bruce or Leo are sparring, he's like,
"That's when Leo got something on."
Then he's like, "How come you weren't doing this when we were fighting?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And Gamer says, "Finally, okay." First of all, if I tell you I'm gonna come back to a question, mark my word, I'm gonna come back to a question. If I say I'm gonna come back to a question, I'm gonna come back. You don't have to put that like, oh, finally you answered the question. Like, relax. I'm gonna come back. You're probably new to the pack, so I do go into detail of my answers. That's the thing that's different about me than anybody else that does. I kind of detail my answers. So just know that. But yeah, it was that I liked it, Ken, but it was just there were some things I did like about it. I agree. Batman movie should be more detective story. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Batman. I didn't like. Yeah, guys, I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying there are some issues I had with it. And it's just like the when I read the comic, they made Bruce look way better than Turtles, even to the point he was almost on that same level with Master Splinter. And I'm like, you no, no, like, come on. But I did like how the Turtles found the Batcave in that movie too. Like Donnie, like showing Case saying, "Okay, well, I'm just using my intelligence," and he did. And I look up, how'd you get in here? And he's like, "Well, you don't got a lot of, you don't got a lot of like booby traps and everything in the waterways." I'm like, okay, it was good. I did like the chemistry that Donnie had with Batgirl. I did like that too. I like that. That was really good. The other thing I did wish that was in it was Dick Grayson. I wish Nightwing was there because I could have seen Nightwing getting along really well with Leo. Like, yeah, that would have been perfect. Favorite live action Batman movie. Favorite live action Batman movie. Probably still the '89 Batman. I still consider that my favorite. I like the Dark Knight and all that stuff, and Batman Begins. I like Batman Begins more than the Dark Knight. And I think the reason why I like it more is because it got talked about so much. It's like, oh, it's the greatest, this and that and that. And it's like, yeah, it was good, but I like the first one better. Um, I will admit the film did have issues, but I liked it. A part of me is kind of hoping we get a sequel. Probably are. They the way it ended, it was like, yeah, there's gonna be a sequel. Have you seen WWE 2K20's Bump in the Night DLC? Nope. And we're not getting 2K. So 20, we're not getting all them glitches and Jesus Christ. Take that.
2K said they're gonna do
a patch. Yeah, whatever. Hey, Thanksgiving quick. I'm gonna call on that. Thank you. Have you? They should do a Green Lantern Space Ghost animated movie next. That'd be cool. They did do a comic. I have the comic. It was great. That'd be really cool to see Space Ghost, and being the fact that Space Ghost is owned by Warner Brothers, it would work. They should do the DC meets Hanna-Barbera stuff, like Johnny Quest meets Adam Strange. That was a good. The one I don't want them to do is like the Suicide Squad and the Banana Splits and all that other stuff. Don't do that. Or Black Lightning and Hong Kong Fooey. Or Aquaman and Jabba Jaw. Um, so yeah, definitely. I would like a Green Lantern Space Ghost. That'd be cool. The thing is, it would have to be something really good because they would really have to up Space Ghost's villains like Zorak and Brack and Spider Woman and Metallo and all them. Like they would really have to upgrade them, because Space Ghost could take one of them. I mean, Green Lantern could take one of them guys out like that. Like, it'd have to be something really interesting. Justice League and Power Rangers, that'd be cool too. If you could make a Justice League Avengers movie, who would you cast as some of the heroes? Well, the trio, the trinity of both Cap, Thor, Iron Man, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Hawkeye. I would use probably a lot of the cast that was in the crossover comic. That's pretty much it. Yeah, there you go. Maybe if we do get a sequel, we'll see Nightwing and maybe a few more other characters like Casey Jones, Casey, April, Karai, and Splinter. Probably, I mean, because the Turtles went to Gotham City, so it'll be interesting that maybe Batman comes to New York City, you know, and in this series they make it like they're in the same universe. It's not like they crossed over. They're in the same universe. Because the way they explained it, like Donnie said, I've been researching Gotham and the talk of this giant bat and things like that. Oh, I forgot Penguin. Tom Kenny replays his voices as a Penguin, but he didn't get mutagen. He didn't get turned. But I did like that scene, like it's the bat, shoot him, Raph, just looked giant compared to the Penguin. It's like, oh, it looked like a freaking bat. And I was like, that was hilarious.
Oh, I must have missed that.
That was before
Shredder almost killed him.
Yeah, Shredder was gonna kill. I mean, and they weren't pulling any punches with that movie. Like they were showing heads getting lobbed off and people getting shot in the head. I was like, whoa. I would love to see animated movies based on the Looney Tunes DC comic. I don't know about that. Like the Batman and that Yosemite Sam stuff. I'm like, what? The only one I think I read fully was the Wonder Woman and Tasmanian Devil, because they really made the Taz like into some mythical creature. Like nobody knows what the Tasmanian Devil is. He's a force of nature, and Wonder Woman had to capture it. And I'm like, okay, but I think they did a Batman Yosemite Sam, or it's Elmer Fudd. And they did Superman and Bugs Bunny. So yeah. Let's see. So we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, guys. If you got any more questions, answer them now. Ask them now before I wrap it up. Got a few interesting questions as of right. Got a few interesting questions from a lot of interesting people. Of course, you're gonna get some trolls that are gonna come in and try to get you upset or something like that. I appreciate you guys just telling the troll like, yo, chill, relax. Appreciate that. But yeah, it looks like that's about all the questions I got. But with that being said, guys, I will. What we got a question from them. The first, I wonder if the WB will still has the Luna tag. Of course they do. That's Bugs Bunny and them just superheroes. So yeah, they do. That's their stuff. Yeah, they didn't lose that. Now in terms of November, the first open mic Q&A for November will be it's not going to be the 3rd. It's going to be the 10th of November. I'll do it the 10th, and the last one will be for November. So it's going to be the 10th of November and the 24th of November. Those are the 2 open mic. One of those will see a special guest, and will be a he, and he will be here to answer questions. I may not be here to do it, but he will. So you can ask him questions, and it should be a lot of fun to ask him questions. But I'm definitely gonna go. But other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up, subscribe. Like I said, guys, I'm still getting people saying I'm missing a lot of videos from you, Chris. Hit that bell. And I hate to say that, but yeah, don't just hit the subscribe, hit the bell and that will notify you every time I upload a video. Do that for every channel. If you subscribe to all my channels, do that. Because That's how, because I'm constantly keep getting that I miss this or I miss that. There you go. I'm I have also announcement also. I will be reacting to the superhero shows, like the CW superhero shows, like reacting to them. Like I'll watch them and react to them like a reaction, like a full. I haven't watched any of the superhero shows fully like since they've come back on the air, like Flash and Batwoman and all those. I haven't watched them, so I will be watching them. They'll probably get cut, to instead of being like a 30 minutes or so. I'll probably cut it, like I'll to cut it, chop it up, just. But I will be doing that. Um, like I said before, uh, link in the description for my channel in terms of where to buy my merch. You could buy it there. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like. I don't have um, Tumblr anymore. I deleted my Tumblr account because I wasn't going to it anymore. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not on Tumblr as much as I used to. Um, so that on there, I'm just on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I have to finish uploading the next part to Erica, the game Erica. I haven't gotten to doing that. I've been playing this game on PS4 called The Quiet Man, and it's made by Square Enix, and you're playing as a deaf character. And when they really take it to that point of from that character's view, they really go in there. Like you don't hear a damn thing. Like people talking, even when it's cutscenes, you don't hear it. Like and they don't even have subtitles. And it's like, lucky I only paid like $4 for this game. Like, but I always wanted to see what it was. And the only thing you do here is when he walks, is here like muffles. But it's an interesting game. It's just kind of weird at times. But it's called The Quiet Man. It got panned by critics. Critics hated it. But I'm playing that. New Call of Duty came out. I've watched a little bit of that from Dashi, and I watched some of the cutscenes. It's beautiful. That is. I'm definitely gonna buy that when I can. I'm definitely gonna get that. Seeing Captain Price again is great. Kind of fell off of Call of Duty, because they were just coming out, Black Ops and all that. But the next truly big game is definitely Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. Like, I will definitely save up to get that collector's edition because I want that cloud statue humming a motorcycle. I want that. Calling it now. It's gonna be DPZ. No, I don't think so. I can tell you that right now. It's not DPZ. He is from New York, so I let you know that for sure. But he's not. No. Besides, you can't do that anymore on. I think Google, like they've shut that down, like the half and half like thing anymore. I don't know how people do it. They do it through another kind of app, but that's not DPZ. Just letting you know, guys. Other than that, you guys take care. I'll see you guys next time. As always, thank you for coming through. As always, my pack, your Alpha, bid you peace, one love, stay tuned, keep real. Have a happy Halloween. If you guys are going to go out trick-or-treating or take your little cousins or anything out there, don't eat too much candy. Don't dress up as a clown and go around scaring people or trying to scare people or legitimately trying to be stupid because you never know. Don't be like them idiots or go stand in like some cornfield and just wait to somebody. Like, don't do that. Just be safe as always. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you around.